winter is coming. And of course, it probably already has here in Pittsburgh because it snowed on Monday into Tuesday night. So there is some snow on the ground here. But the theme is set in, guys. What is going on? This is the Club of the Man 1993. And also, Mother of the Man says hello as well. I was setting up for this stream and doing some other things while I sat in the kitchen and she made her cookies. And she literally said to tell my internet friends that the Mother of the Man says hi. So, happy Christmas. Merry Christmas. It's not Christmas yet. We're on the road to Christmas, though. 23 days, of course, until Christmas, as the countdown is for sure on with the Christmas bell I have in my room as tradition. So happy December, everybody. And this is the Club of the Man 1993, as we are into the last month of the dreadful 2020. Again, what a year it's been, but hey, we're getting through alive and still seeing some positives. So, like this episode of AEW Dynamite. AEW Dynamite, winter is coming. It was hyped up with some very big stakes. So unfortunately this week, well, I shouldn't say unfortunately, but this week I kind of broke my own little rule here. You know, usually I watch AEW Dynamite first all the time, except for a week when there's an NXT takeover. When I did my preview predictions, I put NXT first that week. This week, though, changed it up still. Even though there's a takeover on Sunday, I'm taking a chance. I had to watch this episode of Dynamite first. And boy, was I sure as hell glad I did, because we had a shocker. A nice surprise. Well, we had a big title change, but we also had a very surprise debut. And what this means for AEW, ho ho ho. Again, NXT, you can just say, just give up and say the war is over. The war is definitely over for sure because of who AEW have on live TV here, people. Anyways, so we are here live to talk about the December 2nd, 2020 edition AEW Dynamite. Winter is coming. It took place at Daly's Place in Jacksonville, Florida. We had a few matches hyped up for this show. A title match, a tag team match, a Dynamite Diamond Battle Royale, as they were going to be, having the second annual match for the winner gets the Dynamite Diamond ring. Of course, we currently have the current holder of that is none other than Maxwell Jacob Friedman of the Inner Circle now. We'll talk about the Inner Circle because this was a very good episode of Dynamite. Little nitpick, though, I gotta get in there. Mainly when it comes to the Inner Circle. We'll talk about that when we get to it. That was a little disappointing there. But, the main event lived up to the hype. The shocker and, what we were left with kind of get us wondering. But again, still, my moment of the night still has to happen after that tag match with Cody Rhodes, Darby Allin, and then Team Taz is Ricky Starks and Will Hobbs. Powerhouse Hobbs. We'll talk about that all as we get into this review. Also, make sure to check out my NXT TakeOver War Games 4 card predictions and my TLC 2020 card predictions as well. Want to get some good views on these card predictions, people. I haven't been getting the views on them. Come on. Get them going. Come on. You get how many views on those? Anyways, let's talk about the show. So the show opened up with the Dynamite Diamond Battle Royale. Basically, the final two will face off next week in a match for the Dynamite Diamond ring. And of course, will MJF be able to defend that honor, as it is one of his biggest weapons, of course, he has, is a arsenal today. So, the Battle Royal starts off with MJF gets a promo and talks about how the ring is up for grabs and how happy he'd be to have either Wardlow or Sammy Guevara, who are also in the match, be finalists that go on to the match for the ring next week. And the crowd slowly thins, and then, of course, we also have we get honored about the death of Pat Patterson. Rest in peace, Pat. And then immediately, Sean Spears got eliminated, unfortunately, and then he gets the steel slug from Tully Blanchard, and he uses it to deck Scorpio Sky, which led to Scorpio Sky get eliminated. And then Matt Hardy goes on a little bit of a rampage there. Well, John Silver goes to dump Matt Hardy over, but he avoids elimination, and as does Mark Quinn, who tosses Silver over a low bridge from Hardy to eliminate him. Buckshot Lariat hits Quinn, but Matt, though, eliminates Hangman Adam Page, which was kind of a shocker there. Teasing a little bit of a different direction with Matt Hardy's character. Not sure where it's going, but it's intriguing. Miro and Hardy were jockeying for position. Quinn goes for a silly string off of Hardy's back, and Miro eliminates both of them. And then Joey Janela, and then Miro, but then it gets down to the final five, as again, Miro went on the rampage. It's Miro, the Inner Circle boys, Wardlow, Sammy Guevara and MJF, and Jungle Boy Jack Perry. Of course, the Inner Circle lads triple T to the best man, Miro, but he shrugs them off, facing Wardlow down with heavy hands. And then MJF and Sammy return and hold Miro in place while Mr. Mayhem beats him down. And despite the best efforts, though, Miro gets eliminated and Jungle Boy Jack Perry finds himself surrounded. He nearly eliminates Sammy Guevara with a back body drop. And they were brawling on top of the post until MJF comes over. He goes to knock off Jungle Boy Jack Perry, but Sammy Guevara goes out with him instead. Obviously creating a little bit of tension again between MJF and Sammy Guevara that they teased. They mainly teased it again before MJF officially joined the Inner Circle. So it comes down to now Wardlow, MJF, and Orange Cassidy. So Wardlow scoops up MJF, and Cassidy threw MJF, Cassidy threw Wardlow into MJF, nearly eliminating him, in which MJF starts bickering at Wardlow, but Orange Cassidy goes on a rampage of orange punches, and the third one eliminates Wardlow, and MJF and Orange Cassidy are the winners, and they'll be in the match next week to determine the second winner of the Dynamite Diamond Ring. So, something small, but again, they're at least making it mean something. Again, MJF actually, used as a weapon, which came very good use for him. Just a simple thing that just helped enhance his character. So, whoever gets it next, hopefully that's the same thing. I mean, it could be MJF keeping it, or maybe Orange Cassidy gets it. I kind of hope Orange gets it. Again, they've actually made him into a star, and yes, they're not going to make him, the biggest name in the company right now as of yet, but they are at least going to, make him feel important, so I kind of hope Orange wins the ring next week. But, good Battle Royale, a lot of fun spots there, especially with Miro going on a rampage, the interesting turn of events for Matt Hardy, as he seemed to be going to a little bit different direction with his character. Again, they're teasing some tension again with Sammy Guevara and MJF, but I still didn't think, it's kind of leading to what I'm going to say about the Inner Circle short, but I still didn't think it was that severe that it should be teasing the breakup yet, the Inner Circle. Anyways, so we'll get to that next. We have Chris Jericho versus Frankie Kazarian in a pretty good match. During the match, though, with the Inner Circle at ringside, when MJF and Wardlow come out, there's a towel in hand, as Frank Kazarian was really pushing Chris Jericho to his limits. MJF's getting ready to throw in the towel, but Sammy Guevara comes out and pulls the towel away from him as Jericho gets the rope to force the break. Chris sees Sammy with the towel in hand, and Frankie takes advantage of a sunset flip to a small package. So good back and forth to end it, but then Jericho wins with the Judas effect. Afterwards, though, the Inner Circle starts arguing, and MJF gets into it with Guevara, but then Jericho gets on the microphone and says, "Stop this. I'm going to give you guys 7 days to really think about this, because next week they're going to decide whether they're going to work together as a team, every one of them, or the Inner Circle is going to break up." So we're going to have a little bit of like an intervention something next week. I don't know, like was that kind of abrupt to me? Like, why is the whole, yes, MJF and Sammy Guevara have had their moments teased of not getting along. since MJF came into the picture of the Inner Circle. But to me, again, was it really that big of a deal to really like tease them break up? Like, it seemed just a little bit abrupt. Like, I would have one again if it would have maybe had Jericho lose to Kazarian. Maybe that could have added to it. But the fact that again he won and it's just some little mini bickering between Guevara and MJF, like. Again, I feel like there should be a little bit more build to this than just having it just one little spat that's not affecting them at all. For Jericho to be saying, "Okay, that's it, we're breaking up," which I don't think they're going to break up yet. No, I still think they may kick out Sammy Guevara though and turn him face, and how MJF basically replace him as the young lad of the group. But I think the Inner Circle is completely disbanding. No, it's not happening. I really don't think so. So, other than that being abrupt, that was still good. Well, other than that being abrupt, it was a good match. The Young Bucks are interviewed backstage. They talk about being fighting champions and giving TH2 a match next week. They promise a title match if they can win next week. And then Anthony Bellins and Max Casarola drop a few bars, make fun of their book, and asking if the Bucks were looking at each other's dongus getting hit hard, just real warmed over 1999 crap and such. It was just a way to set up TH2 to attack the Young Bucks and beat them down. So that match is next week. I believe again it's non-title unless TH2 can win, but that's kind of WWE booking, but who knows. So we'll see where that goes. Dr. Britt Baker took on Layla Hirsch. It was the first time I think we've seen Britt have a match in a while. Again, they've really been treating her slow, bringing her back. Obviously, when they first brought her back, for a match with Big Swole at All Out, I don't think Britt was 100%. But Britt had an insert promo telling Layla Hirsch that she's got a one-way plane ticket back to Russia for her. And I thought they had a good match, which Britt Baker wins by submission with the lockjaw. Afterwards, though, Thunder Rosa jumps Britt Baker and attacks her and beats her down as, again, they break them apart, obviously teasing them for a pretty good match, maybe at Revolution, I'm not sure. I honestly would kind of save that match for Revolution. But then Layla Hirsch, though, hits a Saito suplex on Reba, Rebel, whatever her name is. Even the announcers say it too. Reba, Rebel, they still can't get her name. Baker and Rosa got each other again, and they're broken up. Yeah. So continuing to build that match again. I'd still save it for Revolution. Could be a good addition to the card. I'd save for a singles women's match without a title. I think it would work. So we have that, and then we get ready for this tag match between Cody Rhodes and Darby Allin, the TNT champion, taking on Team Taz's Absolute Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Will Hobbs. The match, again, was good. Cody Rhodes and Darby Allin won with a coffin drop from Darby Allin on Ricky Starks. But that wasn't the moment of the match. After the match, Team Taz comes in and Will Hobbs attacks and lays out the baby faces. And they even attack Arn Anderson until Dustin Rhodes comes out to make the save. Brian Cage then comes down to even the odds. And they're about to beat Cody down with the FTW Championship when the lights go out. And then they're showing video of a snowy winter landscape. And I'm like, okay, because one thing I will definitely give AEW credit for, they've really shot surprise really good. And let me tell you something again. I'm usually not super duper animated when watching TV anymore or wrestling shows unless you really surprise me. From my tired, worn out brain from work this past week, this made me pop. And this is huge. And like I said again at the beginning of this review, this is really the moment where NXT should just say, the war's over, we lost. except that we lost, because this is going to bring viewers to TNT on Wednesday nights. So by the way the music was playing, I had a slight itch in my Kane. I'm like, this sounds something similar, what Kane's music would be. I don't know why. They kept playing, the video and, the wintry theme on the Tron. I'm like, what the heck? And then, of course, I heard rumors about it, but I wasn't sure if it was going to happen. Heard rumors of it possibly happening at Full Gear, but it didn't happen. But it happened here. The name appears on the Tron, and I popped. And all my friends who watch wrestling, started texting me. Sting! The icon himself, Sting, is in AEW. Face paint, everything, baseball bat. Sting came out to a massive reaction from the small crowd that was there, to the announce team, to my own couch. This was awesome. And he comes out, basically just walks around, gets in everyone's face, and leaves. And it is then announced that Sting has signed a multi-year deal with AEW. And he's going to be live next week and speak. I am wondering what he's going to say. Again, I don't know what to expect from this. I mean, I love it, but I don't know how excited I should get. The last time Sting had a match was 5 years ago in September of 2015 against Seth Rollins at Clash of Champions. And that's the match where Sting hurt his back with that turnbuckle bomb. And that looked to have ended his career, unfortunately. Is he going to wrestle again? Is he not going to wrestle? What's he going to do? But it sounds like, from what I'm hearing, he's not on a part-time schedule with AEW. I mean, it's once a week. There could be something in store for him. If he has a match, who could it be against? Darby Allin? Cody Rhodes? Jon Moxley? Ooh, Brody Lee? Oh, man. Oh, boy. Again, like I said, NXT, you're toast. NXT, you're absolutely toast. Again, I cannot tell you how loud I popped when I saw Sting come out. Like I said, it takes a lot. Like, when something's really good when you get me to pop. Because I'll be sitting there, unless if I'm doing live reactions, I get very animated. But if I'm just sitting there, relaxed, and watch the show by myself, I'm like, yep. Oh yeah, nice, something like that. But me, I'm just like, Sting! Like, that was me. I was like, Sting! I marked out. Again, I didn't live tweet because, again, I was working on my TLC card predictions, but again, I popped. Again, that was my moment of the night because I didn't see it happening. Well, there was rumors about it, but I never saw it coming. So Sting, the icon Sting, is in AEW. And, yep, we'll see where it goes. And, yeah, it's going to be, this is huge for AEW. Getting Sting is huge. What's up, Tyler? Check the live chat. Is TNA invading AEW? Not too sure. What if Sting won his first match in WWE? As he should have. Seriously, he should have. He gave it a B. When he came out, he got Edge, Royal Rumble 2020 reaction, and happy way, nothing come out of my mouth. Priceless, yes. Again, I got excited over Edge. Damn it, there's things I wish I could get live reactions for. Just those pops that actually, like the actual reactions. Well, my Doctor of Thugonomics reaction I got from WrestleMania 35 when I attended that live. Again, if you haven't seen that WrestleMania documentary, check it out. But yeah, it's just moments like that I would love to see my reactions. Or when the Hardy Boys came out, even though there have been rumors about them for ages. You know. So that was awesome, and Sting will say words next week. We also get an interview from Hikaru Shida about Abaddon, whatever the heck the creepy person's name is, and she claims she's not afraid of her, but she gets spooked by something clattering. Obviously, it's to be Abaddon. She's like, they can go again, and she's like, can we do this again? Like, no, we're live. And she's like, oh, well, excuse me. But she's not admitting she's afraid. We'll see where it goes with that. Jon Moxley cuts a promo outside talking about how special tonight feels, how far they have come, and how he and Kenny Omega feel like they've been destined to do this as diametric opponents. And we have the main event, in which Don Callis joins us on commentary for the main event. Jon Moxley, Kenny Omega, AEW World Championship in a one-on-one normal wrestling match. Again, the only time these two have ever met face-to-face was last year at Full Gear in a lights-out, unsanctioned match. But once again, it didn't count. It was unsanctioned. The record did not count. It didn't count towards their win-loss record. But it was brutal. This match was still good. Started off kind of slow. Slowly picked up a little bit later on. There's some good, simple looking counters and such. Some good near falls. And then Omega goes for a springboard. But then Moxley countered it into a paradigm shift. But then he decided to not capitalize. And he goes out to the floor and throws in some chairs. Which I'm like, what are you doing? That's going to be a disqualification. Moxley, though, sets up chairs. He sits down. He puts Kenny in a chair across from him. He wants a bar fight as they're trading right hands and punching each other in the jaw. Punch by punch by punch by punch by punch. And then he wins a punching exchange. But then Kenny hits a V-trigger. And knocks Moxley off the chair. There's a couple dragon suplexes, and then another V trigger for a lariat, and then I believe he goes for another fallen angel. He sets up for him though, but it was not enough, as Moxley counters it with another paradigm shift. But Kenny Omega kicked out of the paradigm shift, which is a shocker, because no one's ever kicked out of Kenny Omega's move, as far as I can think of. But Jon Moxley had someone kick out of his paradigm shift. So obviously, Moxley, runs the ropes, goes for a suicide dive, but then another V trigger Moxley countered with. Kenny up top has a missile drop kick, a V trigger to the back of the head, and then even a J driller, and Moxley couldn't be kept down. Another series of V triggers, but then Moxley caught him on the third and elbows Omega, but another V trigger, electric chair, Moxley reverses, jockeying for position, and then Omega's another drop kick, a ripcord V trigger, electric chair, overhead elbows from Moxley, but then still wasn't able to keep Moxley down at 3. And then there's a paradigm shift into one of the ringside space heaters. This is where it kind of took the turning point. They're calling for a doctor to check on Kenny. Everyone, including Don Callis, comes down to take a look, and Moxley decides he's waited long enough, and he pulls Kenny inside because he wants to beat Kenny clean, fair and square, clean in the ring. Doesn't want this to end in like a fluky finish like this. Referees, of course, were hurt. Were telling Moxley to stop, but he shoved them away as he did not care. Turning away, though, Don Callis was kind of gets on the stage and again tried. Well, Callis is on the stage, and then Moxley shoved him, and the referee's checking on Callis. But as that's happening, Kenny Omega takes the microphone and blasts Moxley right in the face, which leads to some blood. That was basically the downfall there for Moxley, as there was another series of V triggers that Omega hit on Moxley's head on the ropes, and a fourth one, electric chair, the one-winged angel, thanks to that one distraction from Don Callis. It leads to Moxley getting slammed in the face with the microphone. 4 V triggers later, a one-winged angel, Kenny Omega wins the match. And is the third AEW World Champion. Awesome match. Again, it started off slow. I still wouldn't say it was as good as their Lights Out match, but it really picked up. The drama got crazy. Again, with Moxley refusing just a paradigm shift. He wanted a bar fight. He wanted to get weapons involved. He wanted this to be an all-out fight and make a statement to Kenny Omega. Unfortunately, Don Callis' involvement costed him the match. And as soon as Kenny won, Callis grabs Omega and escorts him out of the arena, and they're trying to get interviewed. And then he's like, and then we're asking, Don, what just happened? And Don says, we can find out what the deal is on Tuesday night when Kenny Omega speaks on Impact Wrestling. And that's how they're showing off the air. Moxley's in the ring feeling defeated. So, I don't know what this is. I don't know if that's, tease of maybe like an invasion angle or a feud between Impact and AEW. If that's the case, we could be seeing some Deonna Purrazzo on AEW. Ooh, I hope so. Yes. Eric Young, Gallows and Anderson, the Good Brothers, Rich Swann, several other wrestlers who have left WWE for greener pastures and whatnot. I'm intrigued. Very intrigued. But of course, Kenny Omega is now your AEW World Champion. Seems this may have been solidifying the heel turn. I don't know. This Don Callis stuff, we'll see where it goes there. But, Kenny Omega defeats Jon Moxley with the use of a microphone and is now your new and the third ever AEW World Champion. Mox, he had a great run with 10 months? About 10 months, 10 months he was AEW World Champion. Did an excellent job. Was an excellent champion. Unfortunately, things must come to an end, but it was time for Kenny Omega to take over AEW. As far as what the match is going to be for Revolution, I don't know. Maybe a rematch? Fatal 4-Way? With, Moxley, MJF, and Jericho? Could we see Hangman Adam Page get a match, maybe? Orange Cassidy? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. And, J.R. Cable says since Thanksgiving 2015. But yeah, guys, that's going to do it. That's my review of AEW Dynamite. Winter is coming again. Sting's debut was awesome. Main event was awesome as well. Sting's debut was still my favorite part of the show. For grades, 22 votes on this show. 86.4% said A. 9.1% said B. Nobody said C. 4.5% though said D or lower. So somebody didn't like this show, unfortunately. But it all tends to happen. But I gave it an A-. The Inner Circle stuff kind of hurt it a little bit, but this was, again, an awesome episode of Dynamite. And again, I'm glad I chose to watch this first over NXT. I'll watch NXT tonight, review that hopefully today. I'll probably do my preview predictions for NXT TakeOver War Games tomorrow. And maybe try to do my SmackDown review tomorrow as well. If not, then I'll do that Saturday. And then Sunday is NXT TakeOver War Games 4. And with that being said, guys, that's going to do it. Again, I'm going to go watch some Young Sheldon. And then I will be back up here in a little bit to do my NXT review, hopefully. So, guys, once again, what are your thoughts on AEW Dynamite? Winter is coming. Leave your thoughts down in the comments section below. Be sure as always to slap a like on the video and subscribe or comment to my channel. And follow me on Twitter at DemandAirBoy93. Tell them, guys, check it out. Have a great night. See you all later. Peace out, everybody. Stay warm.